I am Rick Godley, and we happen to be at Rhett's Tails and Shells. Rhett's Tails and Shells, and this is the very first one. We got them jumping into the boat. It is a podcast. Gregg Terzia, presented by Media Bass, North Louisiana Division, and the season is going to be cranking up, pun fully intended there on the fisherman joke side, cranking up, so you want to get registered for that. Simply go to the Media Bass North Louisiana Division Facebook page, get signed up for Fishing Fellowship, maybe some foolishness, but most importantly, some cash. And the gentleman who's doing all this, Mr. Gregg Terzia, it's your show, my friend. Have at it. Who do we have?
Before we get into that, I just need to make sure we got all the streaming stuff pushed over so they can see what's going on.
All right, so you're still in the process of doing that? Mm-hmm. All right, so as you're doing that, I got the lineup for today. I feel like Joe Buck right now as far as leading off is going to be Connor Nimrod, Thomas Swallow, and then at Chris Patton, Brennan Flick, and followed in the third hole, Craig and Taylor Cobb, and then Scotty Smith, Kenny Covington, and would be wrapping up here today, Charlie Witherington, Kevin Jennings, and obvious things subject to change. First week here, by the way, Happy New Year of the week of 2024. Do I need to keep talking more, Greg, and recite the pledge?
I think we're good, man.
All right, so you are fired away, so have at it, my friend.
All right, so I have Connor Nimrod and Thomas Swallow here. Guys, crazy tournament you guys had down in Florida at the Harris Chains. Main thing I want guys to know, people to know, is that you can actually qualify for the Bassmaster Classic through the Media Bass North Louisiana Division. And I want you to kind of tell us how you go about doing that. And you almost did qualify. So, yeah, you fished the trail, and then what happened? You fished our championship.
Yep, we were fortunate enough to qualify for y'all's championship this year. We ended up being the highest finishers at the championship on the Ouachita River. And we were paid into the Bassmaster Team Trail Championship deal that you offered us. And we got the opportunity to travel to Florida to compete and hopefully qualify for the Bassmaster Classic.
Okay, so it was down at the Harris Chains. There were 248 teams down there competing. And have you guys ever been there?
I haven't. No, he's been there for one tournament.
Okay.
That's all the experience we had.
So you get down there and practice. Did you kind of have an idea what you wanted to do, or did you just kind of wing it? And tell us a little bit about that. How did you prepare?
In practice, I just kind of went off of what I had learned from previous times being down there. We started off in Griffin just to kind of see if we could get some bites, see what phase the fish were in, because we're getting pretty close to when they start wanting to spawn in Florida. And we were able to catch a bunch of fish out of offshore grass in Griffin, just throwing, swimming worm, chatterbait, trap, your standard grass fishing stuff. But history tells us that Apopka's been more and more a player the last couple of years, so we ended up down there for, I think, a day and a half of practice.
So how far was that from the ramp?
So Apopka's about an hour and 20-minute run, and that's if everything goes smoothly. The lock doesn't break down, you can get in and out, because there's been a lot of issues with the locks down there lately.
Right.
Where they actually just had a college tournament down there yesterday and left a lot of guys stranded on the other side. They weren't able to make it to weigh in. We were very fortunate that we never had an issue with the lock the entire 4 days that we fished for. But yeah, that was just where we
channels too.
Yeah.
No wing zones, and if you get behind a party
So
barge, it's cruising.
You're really not familiar with the area, and you're running an hour and 20 minutes to get there. So kind of the unknown while you're doing this, and I don't know, that would be kind of nerve-wracking to me as it is, especially trying to get back to the weigh-in. But
it's just one of those things that you have to do. I mean, you're not down there to finish top 20, 40, 60, whatever. You're not going down there for points. You're going down there for one goal, and that's to qualify for Bassmaster Classic. And if you're not catching the fish to win, I mean, you might as well not even show up. You can't just sit there in the same lake that you take off from down there and just fish for 6, 8, 10 pounds a day. That's not going to cut it.
Right. So we know that you guys are big into the live scope forward-facing sonar. And were you doing a lot of that down there? I know you said you were throwing a chatterbait in the grass. Did the forward-facing sonar play a factor, or were you kind of, you're fishing shallow, so I don't really know that you can use that very much when you're fishing shallow. I don't, but.
It definitely helps you locate the fish.
Right.
It helps you break down the grass a lot quicker. You're not having to idle through areas and then spin back around and fish them back over. I actually run 2 live scope transducers on my personal boat, one in perspective and one in forward, so just both those transducers coupled together allows me to break down that grass and that water a lot quicker.
Right.
Not necessarily targeting individual fish as far as, what people would mostly refer to as actually live scoping for them, but just using it to break down water and locate, active groups of feeding fish in the grass for sure.
Right, cool. Okay, so I was following you guys as the tournament goes on. It's a 3-day tournament. You guys finished in the top 3, and the top 3 had to separate, so now you guys are fishing against one another.
Yep.
How did that work out? Because, I just want to know, how did y'all plan that out?
We really had like 2 spots that we were catching fish off of. So, I picked one spot, and I knew the one spot that we caught our 21 pound bag off was not gonna. We weren't gonna both catch another 20 pound bag each off of it. So, I did choose another spot that did have fish in practice. It didn't pan out. They were not biting very well, especially after that front came through. But
Yeah.
There were still some fish at the other spot, but I did go to that spot, and I got my butt kicked, but
Right.
I got no excuses. So
Oh, man, you did awesome. Man.
it was
Only
a great
one
time.
person out of 248 teams is going to the Classic, and you guys finished in the top 6, so.
That's how we decided. We just, there was 2 spots that we caught our fish off of, and I picked one spot, and he picked the other spot, and
Right.
that's what it was.
You worked it out.
Yeah, there was
it
no
out.
problems at all.
Right. So the guy that eventually won this thing was from Florida.
Yep.
He was familiar with the lake.
Yep.
You guys come all the way from here, or go all the way down there from here and show out. And my question to you is, the Bassmaster Classic is what every fisherman's dream is fishing, or wants to fish. So you were one person away from making the Classic. One guy was in front of you. How did you feel about that?
It's definitely nerve-wracking. I think both myself and Aaron, the kid who actually ended up winning the deal, kind of felt the same way. Either way, whether it was him or me, we were going to make history and be the youngest people ever to qualify and fish the Bassmaster Classic. And we both kind of got together on the final day, and I was trailing by so much, I kind of just pulled him aside and was like, congratulations, just go out and catch them as good as you can today. However the chips fall, it's going to be an awesome opportunity for you.
Yeah.
Got to give a hats off to him. Catching 30 pounds 2 days in a row,
Yeah.
the final day of the team championship, and then the first day when we fished individually. That's you don't really lose because you boat all your fish and you do the best you can, but you just get flat out beat.
Right. Well, one other question that you just kind of reminded me of, were you able to keep up with what he was catching on that last final day? Because I think at noon he didn't have a single fish in the boat. So did you know that?
No, not at all.
Okay.
It's just one of those things like we talked about. You got to go out and put all the bites in the boat that you can. But when somebody's on them like that, and they've got that local knowledge, regardless, not catching them at 12 o'clock or whatever, he could have rolled through anywhere from there all the way back to the boat ramp and caught a fish and been fine.
Right. Well, that's about all I have. Any other stories that y'all? Anything crazy happened down there?
Hit him in the head with the half-ounce chatterbait.
Yeah, that was
You what
pretty-
now?
Hit him in the head with the half-ounce chatterbait.
Really?
Yeah, that
he
was
a
pretty
trooper
intense.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one thing about the home field advantage, I don't know if it's been announced or not, but I know a guy who works for the CBB, and he told me that they already locked in this tournament that we fished in Florida. It's going to be in Monroe on the Washita River.
Really?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I could be wrong, but he told me that he talked to the same guys that we dealt with, and so yeah, a lot of people need to try to
Bassmaster Teams Championship is
from what I was
Tentatively
told, yeah.
scheduled.
going to be on the Washita River.
I
right
guess it
here
hasn't
in
been
Monroe.
officially announced. It could change, but the people I've talked to,
Huge advantage for our local
100%.
fishermen.
Yeah, everybody needs to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Try to qualify for that tournament.
Yeah, so guys, Fish Media, Bass North Louisiana Division, and have a chance to qualify for the Bassmaster Classic Fishing Tournament on the Washita River in Monroe. It's not official, but it sounds like it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
I hope it is.
That's about all I got for you guys, man. That was really awesome what y'all did. Rick, do you have anything to ask? Or
I got one more thing I want to throw out there real quick before we get on time. Guys, don't wait to get your boats serviced, rigged, and ready for the tournament season. If you need somebody that y'all can trust to get your stuff done, come see us at Tournament Technologies. We'll be open for the first day this coming Monday, January 8th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. You can give us a call. You can shoot us a direct message on any of our social medias. Yeah.
Where are you located at?
So we're off 178 Greer Road, right off the Shinny exit. If you were to come from West Monroe to go to Caney, it'd probably be about the same way that you're going to go.
Okay. That sounds good.
Yes, sir.
Rick,
There you have it. Yeah, first one, Connor Nimrod, Thomas Swallow, and there's first of four more to come. Chris Patton, Brennan Flick up next. We'll kill this as what we got going on is we got them jumping into the boat with Gregg Terzia right here at Rhett's Tails and Shells. Rhett's is open now. 7 days a week from 4 till 9. Follow them on Facebook for all the crawfish activity, festivities. I know the prices are what they are right now, but Red's doing all things local, and we appreciate them opening up the house. So job well done there, Connor. Job well done there, Thomas and Greg. So we'll kill this stream. We'll get set up for stream number 2. Chris Patton, Brennan Flick coming up on Media Bass, North Louisiana Division.